Welcome to Northern Ireland Opera's Festival of Voice. Now, usually in the fabulous town of Glenarm in the Glens of Antrim, using all the churches and the scenery, but different times, a different place, and we're delighted to be able to be here at Rosemary Street Church in the centre of Belfast. It's the oldest church in the city. It's got a wonderful acoustic, which is just as well, because we will want it to be used to its very, very best. We have 5 young finalists inside. They've been rehearsing, they've been getting coaching from the best in the country, and they will present to us what they have to offer. Now, they're already all successful, they're already all wonderful, but there will be one at the end of the night who will emerge triumphant, if I can put it like that. So, let's see how they're getting on. Well, here are 4 of them, so it must be a quartet. But no judgment, please, this is a rehearsal.
And as soon as Andrew goes off, Sarah Luttrell, Tirana. Is that the kind of position and then someone to further out?
It's a very strong performance from everyone this year. Everyone's come really prepared. They probably had loads of time in lockdown to practice and get to know the music really well. The whole programme this year is particularly lovely. I think it's the first year that I've been here that they're having all Irish songs for the Irish song section by Irish composers. And I think that's going to be very lovely for the audience.
I think the best, whenever I work with singers as an accompanist, the best result is when we treat it as chamber music. So when we can actually collaborate, and that's been really great here to sit in on all of the coachings and the master classes, and they're involving the pianists, and we get to have a bit of a chat as well, which is great.
I started doing competitions and I was in the school choir, and I said to myself, like, it was only until like I started kind of doing well in competitions that I started, this is actually something that I could pursue as a career, you know. And then getting positive feedback from fairly substantial like adjudicators really built my confidence, and that's how I started. I've chosen the Malatesta aria, so Bellassi come un angelo. He's trying to persuade Don Pasquale to marry this woman who I'm saying is my sister, when it's actually Norina in disguise. He's like a used car salesman, you know. He is doing everything in his power to sell this woman to, and then obviously Don Pasquale is getting very excited.
Well, I'm singing the role of Dardano in the Amadigi di Guala, Handel's opera Amadigi, Pena Tirana, this evening, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I think I've been singing that aria for a good bit of time now at the stage, and it's very musical, and obviously it's a bit soul-destroying where the character is, and at that stage in his life, he is rejected, yes, and we all know what that feels like to a certain degree, so it's just trying to put that into the character and work with it. I think I've always enjoyed to sing early music, a lot of Baroque music, and in terms of musicianship, I think singing in Christ Church Cathedral has been fantastic for diction and just listening, listening to people, because when you come to the opera stage, we have to sing in ensemble and we have to sing with people, and it's easy to only think about your own role and your own line, if you like, but I think it's very, very important to be able to listen to everybody else, and it's a team, you know, so.
We're all singing actors. That's the way I've always thought about it, that we are singing actors and you have to be able to act, move, sing fluidly, or otherwise it just looks disjointed somehow. I think for me, it's about going into that character, that you are not really yourself in a way, that whatever you're singing, if you want to sing it your best, regardless of technique and breaths and all of the minor details, it's about being that person. And then that comes across to the audience, which is what they care about most, that communication. I remember when I was younger and I started doing lessons and competitions for certain pieces that I had a strong emotional connection to, I had to stop myself from crying. And I had to say, this is too much, this is way too much, because it affects your singing. So you have to find that perfect balance in between communicating and going too far.
It has been 5 months since I did any form of live performance in this sort of context, and it has been since before Christmas since I had a singing lesson face-to-face that wasn't on Zoom. So I definitely have been changed by this, and it's been great to kind of get my technique and the enthusiasm that this gives me again for the art form has been amazing.
Singing in general, well, I sang in a choir from about the age of 9 in Limerick, and then I was playing piano from about the age of 8. And my granddad was a famous enough singer in Limerick. He kind of sang in choral societies and kind of GNS stuff down there, and so he kind of, music was always in my family, and I always remember going to concerts and going to see Messiahs and just being absolutely enamored by the whole thing. So that's kind of from about, I'd say about 15 or 16, I realized, I was like, could be something I would like to do. Well, the Bizet song is just, it's kind of a quintessential bass baritone aria. There are very few out there that are written specifically for bass baritone. So it's kind of a drunken song, a man in love, and he's kind of pining over women, and no one loves him, and it's kind of that thing, one look from a woman and you end up making a fool of yourself. So I kind of thought it was a good concert piece, to get people relaxed, And then the Irish song is just a beautiful story, really, and it's a very sad story, but it was a very simple, beautiful song that I just really enjoyed. The best.
Well, the time has come. The rehearsals are over. All we can do is appreciate the incredible artistry of our 5 young singers, and it is going to be a deep pleasure. In this wonderful space, marvellous acoustic, very appropriately one of the oldest churches in Belfast. This particular building is late 18th century. It was the radical centre of the Belfast Enlightenment, so the perfect place for us to have our artistic excitement. The very best to all of them. Thank you very much indeed for being here, because it is a great boon to the singers as well to have an audience. What a rare thing this is. Who would have thought we'd be in this sort of position? And thank you very much indeed to First Church, to Rosemary Street here for hosting us today. I was going to use the pulpit. It was good enough for John Wesley, but then I decided he might haunt me, so I decided to stay down on a basic level. Once everybody's performed, do feel free to applaud wildly, because applause is part of the diet of any good artist. I think they will really appreciate it. We're down to 5. I think I've been listening to some of the rehearsals. They all are wonderful. So in a way, it's a celebration of what they're doing, and been difficult during this period of lockdown not to be able to sort of sing together. But first, would you please welcome Sarah Luttrell and David Corr.
Hushing all his sewing, boldly blushing, bravely coy, bravely coy. Boldly blushing, boldly bravely coy. Oh, the happy days of doing, oh, the happy days of doing, oh, the sighing and the sewing, when a word was a wooing, oh, the sweets that never.
Tis that meikle sister reaps,
the sewing, when a brother goes a-wooing, and the sobbing sister weeps. When a jester is outwitted, feelings fester, heart is led, food for fishes, only fitted, the jester wishes he was dead. Food for fishes, only fitted, the jester wishes he was dead. Oh, the doing and undoing, oh, the sighing and the sewing, when a jester goes a-wooing, and he wishes he was dead. Oh, the doing and undoing, oh, the sighing and the sewing, when a jester goes a-wooing, and he wishes he was dead. He wishes he was dead. Ma foresta in cielo peggia, forse onesto con te. Ma foresta, già la peggia ancora per te. La forza primerà, rivela il mio cuore, regina e guerriera dirà, più tardi saprò. Il cielo l'ha fatta nascere per far beato un cor, beato un cor. Il cielo l'ha fatta nascere per far beato un cor, per far beato un cor, per far beato un cor. Oh,
Now, David Core next. David, advance. Anyway, what stage are you in your preparedness for the world?
I'm about to go to Glasgow.
Ah, another one. Look out, Glasgow.
Yeah. So I'm about to do my MOs in performance, so vocal performance. So
yeah, how long will that take?
It'll be 2 years.
Okay.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're well advanced in the performance. The practical and singing is one of the best things, isn't it? After all.
Yeah.
Now, you've chosen She is Far from the Land. I suppose people would know that as one of Moore's melodies.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
Not
Robert Emmett's story.
Yeah, exactly. So is it a setting by Frank Lambert?
Yeah, it's setting by Frank Lambert. Thomas Moore wrote the melody, and he put his own music to it. So that's. Is it something that touches your heart? Really, yeah. Well, it's the classic kind of love story. The fiancé goes off to America and then he is exiled. So it's the classic sort of tragic tale, really. You know.
Yeah. We're very good at tragic tales.
Yeah.
soon shall the tears of his country be dried. Not long will his love stay behind him. Not long will his love stay behind him. Oh, make a grave where the sunbeams rest, where they promise a glorious morrow. They'll shine o'er us asleep like a smile from the west, from her own loved island of sorrow.
Old Lugden rises green by the sea. Aye, he stands between the glens and the sea. Now we'll past the darkling caves, where the breaking summer waves, wandering with their trouble from the sea. But Cushenden lies nearer to the sea, and Thon's ashore is dearer still to me. For the land that I am leaving, sure the heart I have is grieving, but the ship has set her sails for the sea. Och, what's this is deeper than the sea.
'Twas on a winter's evening when first came down the snow, o'er hills and lofty mountains the stormy winds did blow. A damsel she came tripping down all in a drift of snow, with a baby in her snow-white arms. She knew not where to go. Hard-hearted was my father that shut the door on me, and more so was my mother, for plainly she did see that dark and stormy was the night. It pierced my heart with cold, and cruel was that false young man that sold his love for gold.
We laid it on the grey rocks to wither in the sun. And what should gall my lad then to say
And finally, Mr. Andrew Erwin. Andrew. Thank you. Well, you know, you've been here quite a lot recently, but you were in Leipzig until things changed, isn't that right?
Yes, I was. So I had been in Leipzig, finishing off my degree there in Germany, sort of wrestling between that and work over here in the UK.
Yeah.
And I've been here since lockdown.
Yeah, but you've been gainfully employed. You've been taking music to people who it's really touched. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been bringing some music into, well, not into, but socially distanced outside dementia care homes for the past number of weeks.
Yeah, wonderful. And I mean, I bet you that's very rewarding. And I bet you saw something special.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Forget, feel, embrace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2020 Audience Prize, your vote, your choice, is tenor Andrew Irwin. And the winner of the Deborah Voigt Northern Ireland Young Opera Voice of 2020 is David Corr. Stay safe, stay well. More than ever, we need the joy of live music in our lives. Thank you. Safe home. We'll see you next year.